So the last part of this section deals with unit rates. And this is the kind of thing that you see all the time in supermarkets, right? So like in supermarkets, you'll see the price of an item, and then underneath it, small, they'll give you what we call the unit price, right? Which will be how much it costs per ounce or per um, pound or whatever it's measured in, right? Or even sometimes per serving they'll give you, right? They'll think of a unit cost as dollars per serving. So what you're doing in this case is rather than actually trying to just simplify the fraction that you get with the rate, you're actually going to do the division, right? So because when you do the division, what you're doing is you're really turning the denominator into 1, right? So like if I have a fraction 3/4, right? When I do 3 divided by 4, I get 0.75. And that 0.75 really means 0.75 over 1, right? So when you actually do division in a fraction, you're really turning the denominator into 1, and then you'll have your unit rate. Okay, so if you compare prices of eggs, right? So a dozen eggs, a dozen of course is 12, costs $1.49, and a carton of 16 costs $2.10. So what's the better buy? Find the unit rate of each. Now, when I do the unit rate, I usually round to 3 decimal places, which ends up being the nearest tenth of a cent, which I'll show you shortly. So if you're doing a dozen eggs costs $1.49, right? And remember, this is always going to be measured whenever you're doing unit price. It's always going to be dollars per unit. So the dollars always goes on top, right? So in this case, you're doing 149 over 12, right? So you're doing $1.49 over 12 eggs. And with this one, you're doing $2.10 over 16 eggs. So again, if you just see it like this, you don't know what's the better buy, right? But if I punch it in on my calculator, right, so 149 divided by 12, that's going to give me 0.124. So this one's going to be 0.124 per egg. And then this one's going to give me 0.131. And since this is something you're going to buy, right, you want the one that costs less, right? Assuming the quality is equal, right? So assuming this, the eggs are the same size, same quality and everything, you're going to go with the cheaper one, which is this one, right? So this is going to be the cheaper one. So this is your better buy, right? And again, what does this 0.131 mean in dollars? That really means 13.1 cents per egg. This one really means 12.4 cents per egg, right? Now, obviously, there's no such thing as 12.4 cents, but you're not buying one egg, right? So if you buy a dozen, it comes out to 12.4 cents per egg. If you buy 16, it comes out to 13.1 cents per egg. So the dozen in this case is a little bit of a better buy, right? And then last one with this chicken breast. So a serving of chicken breast is 4 ounces. Each serving contains 135 calories. How many calories are in each ounce of chicken breast, right? So they're asking you how many calories in each ounce. So here they want you to give this result in calories per ounce, which means that the calories is going to go on the top, right? And the ounces are going to go on the bottom. So you have 135 calories and 4 ounces. So the original rate is 135 calories per 4 ounces. And now if I do this division, 135 over 4, this actually will work out nicely, I think. 135 divided by 4, it gives me, well, not really nicely, but it gives me 33.75, right? Because remember, we're not just trying to reduce this, because if we were just trying to reduce it, I think it wouldn't reduce at all, right? Because 135 over 4 is already reduced as a fraction, but we want it as a unit rate, so we actually want to do the division, and it comes out to 33.75 calories per ounce. And that's actually our unit rate, right? This 33.75 calories per ounce. And then our final unit rate problem is just actually a two-step one, right? So if a box of cereal contains 20 grams of fiber altogether, so there's 20 grams of fiber in the whole box, and each box has 8 servings, how much fiber is in each serving? So again, similarly, what we're doing here is we want fiber in each serving. So we want this to be measured in fiber, which was measured in grams per serving. So we want grams per serving. So that just tells us what we're going to put in the numerator, basically, right? Put on the top. So we're going to put the 20 grams on the top, and we're going to put the number of servings on the bottom. So this is really 20 grams per 8 servings. And again, we would do the division, right? Because if we just reduce this, it would be 5 over 2, right? But we don't want 5 over 2. We don't want 5 grams per 2 servings. We want per 1 serving. So we're actually going to do the division and get 2.5. So this is 2.5 grams per serving. And then the other nice thing now about having this in unit rate form is now it's easy if we ever want to answer another question, right? So you know that it's 2.5 grams per 1 serving. So how much is going to be in 5 servings? Well, it's easy, right? If I know that there's 2.5 grams per serving, what I do here is I just multiply this by 5 servings. And then what happens here is, and we'll do this again later in this chapter when we do converting units, you see how I have serving down here in the denominator and serving up here in the numerator? Those are going to cancel. And now I know my answer is just going to be measured in grams, which is what I want, right? How many grams are in 5 servings? So you're doing 2.5 times 5. $12.5. So we get 12.5 grams. So yeah, you're really just multiplying 2.5 and 5 there, but it's nice to see how the units cancel out.